All right, first thing I do is I try to find a surface where I can flip the chair over, maybe on top of the table or, on the steps here, how I have it now. And then I go and grab myself either a Phillips screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, or Allen wrench. Usually these are Allen wrench. Most of the products made overseas, that's typically what they use. Now I have two different Allen wrenches here. I have a set of them, but it's either going to be the bigger one or the smaller one. Not exactly sure what size this is, and it's not really going to apply to you anyway, because chances are you're not going to need a whole set of them. If you order any type of furniture, just keep the Allen wrenches in a little baggie or toolbox or something, and usually they're universal. They'll end up fitting because everyone seems to use the same Allen heads. So, but this is the culprit right here. That's loose. As people's butts keep hitting the seat, it just works these things loose, and they start to back out. So a simple turn and tighten a few times, and you're back in business. There we go. Nice and solid now. That's it. Simple as that. Just an Allen wrench. Tighten up the bolts, and you're good to go. Usually after I do that, though, I like to check all the other bolts and just tighten those up too. Figure if I already got the chair upside down, I might as well hit them all. So we have another loose chair. But today's culprit is not any of these hex screws that I talked about. Today's culprit is this bad boy right here. See how easy that just turns? So what I like to do when the chair is loose from something similar to this, see if we can get this out of here without an issue. Probably not. That's going to be a fighter. Oh. Let me go ahead and get this out. I'm going to need both hands, and then I'm going to put some super glue in there. All right, we're back. So I got it out. What I needed to do was set my fingernail. Okay, let's try this again. Set my fingernail right behind the head of this while I turn the screwdriver, and then I apply a little bit of upward pressure on it to be able to get this right out of its place. So it's already unscrewed. This thing just needs a little bit of tension to pull it out of its hole. So then I go ahead and I take some super glue. Any brand super glue will do. $1 store with super glue. It'll do the trick. You're basically just trying to make yourself a thread locker so these don't come undone. Now, if you look inside there, I've already done this prior to other spots. So as they start to come loose, that's usually when I hit them up. But I don't really do it before, because I don't want to waste the time undoing every single screw on these. I just do them when necessary. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to go ahead and pour some of this onto the screw, and then I'm going to get the screw back in its hole. I'll show you what that looks like. So I got some, and you can see I only put it on one area. You don't need gobs of this stuff. The goal is not to flood it. The goal is just to put enough that it stops unthreading itself. Because as people sit on the seat and move on the seat, it starts to want to come undone. So, and this one actually might be more of an issue than that. Okay, no, it's catching now. So then what I like to do is I like to take a little bit of super glue, and then I like to pour it in, and it'll find its home. And I like to let it sit against there, and that stops everything from backing out. So you already hit the threads, and then that gob of super glue right there is going to stop that screw from trying to work its way back up, and it'll keep everything stable. So this should sit for at least 12 hours for the super glue that I have, because this is super glue, but it's not instant super glue. So I'm going to let this sit. Stuff is very strong. Not smelling, but strong working. Let this sit for 12 hours and grab it. Probably just grab it tomorrow and then go ahead and put it back, and it should be all good to go.